Okay, good morning. This time I would like to demonstrate how to connect message queues with Kafka event stream to stream data in real time. In this demonstration, I will use IBM Cloud Pack for integration demo, which is available here in IBM/demo/collection/Cloud Pack for integration. In the bottom of the page, you will have the hands-on lab that you can use to either practicing or maybe creating some presentation or just trying IBM products. I'm not sure whether general public can access these labs, but for us as a IBM business partner, we can use our valid credential email to reserve some instance that we can use to do the labs based on this tutorial. And you will have the link sent to your email, and using that link you can go to the environment. Here I have set up an environment. So we have 10 VMs here, and everything is already started. And this environment is all you need to do this tutorial. And now we will go to the part by part of the tutorial from part 1 to part 8. And the first one is the initial setup, and actually I have set my environment and power on every single VMs. So you can see my VMs already running, up and running, and so we can continue here. We can choose the developer machine and then enter the credential for IBM user with password in case IBM. I've also already done that. You can see in my developer machine I have already logged in, and here is the desktop appearance. So we can continue, but if in the case that your first time you access the environment, you may need about 20 minutes to wait for the environment to be ready. And now we can start with confirming that the integration cloud is up and running. All we need to do is we go to the terminal and we go to the directory of here. Okay, startup scripts. We may need to copy the directory. Sorry. Okay, and then you just run doc startup.sh. See startup.sh space dot. Okay, enter. Okay, just we can wait for the process, and IBM said it may take around 10 to 20 minutes. That is the first time you use this environment, so we can continue to the next step, synchronizing Helm repositories. So to do that, we need a browser with Google Chrome here, and IBM has bookmarked everything, every link we need to do this tutorial, and we can just click one of the bookmarks here, IBM Cloud Private, to synchronize the Helm repositories. And we go to the number in the top left corner, and then go to Manage and Helm repositories. And you can see that everything, the sync status is already completed. But in case you get something like here, fail to sync, you can just click the sync all, and you may wait about 1 minute, and everything will be synchronized, will be completed. And because I have done this process before, we can go to the next step, which is configuring message queue to address and accept data. So we back to our terminal, and maybe we need another tab. We can go back to the home directory. We have load mqes.sh here, and we can just load that. Okay, we got no comments, have a syntax error. So this step is already done, and this is the end of the first part. quite straightforward and simple. And then we go to the second part. We need to configure MQ because we want to send data from MQ to event stream and event stream to MQ. So to configure everything about the IBM Cloud Pack for integration, we go to the Chrome, the browser, and we choose this bookmark, IBM Cloud Pack for integration. Okay, we can see that we have API Connect, App Connect, MQ, Event Stream, Aspera, and Data Power. You can choose based on your need. And here we will go to the MQ1. The MQ and MQ1 is one of the instance, or you can click this link, or you can go to the top left corner and then see MQ here, and we got MQ1. Okay, just click MQ1. Yeah, you may get this notification MQ1 did not load correctly, but don't worry, you can just click the MQ1 to open it in different tab. Okay, if it's prompted to enter the credential, you can just put admin and password also admin. Login. Okay, you see MQ is running, and what we need to do here is we add widget and then make a queues or open queues, because we already have queues but we can't see here, so we need the widget to see queues. Add widget. This is, we have queues here. Okay, and we can see every queues that already been created in the MQ. We can see from event here to event, queue depth still null, and yeah, you can familiarize with the environment and interface. Okay, and then the next step, we have to identify the port or the URL of this MQ. So we go back to the IBM Cloud Pack for integration, to the top left corner, MQ1, as I said before, but now we click these three dots and release details. And then you can scroll down, and sorry, in this service you can see the port here 32340. You may want to copy here. Okay, so everything is done for the part 2. Okay, and then we can continue to the part 3 of this tutorial, which is configuring event stream. Now after the MQ, now we need to do something with the event stream. You can go straight to this event stream instance event stream 1, ES1, click. Okay, you have already entered the event stream, and event stream is all about topics, so we can go to topics here. Okay, and then the next step you have to do is we create topic, but before, you can see that in the bottom right corner can see system is healthy, so everything is good. We can continue to create topics. We will need two topics based on this tutorial. You can just follow this tutorial. The first is MQ to event, and then the second is event to MQ, because we want to create connection and send data both from MQ to event stream and event stream to MQ. So topic is like the place where the message is stored in event stream. You can explore about event stream more, about topics, partition, cluster, and etc. Producer apps and consumer apps. But in this tutorial, I just want to show how to connect MQ with event stream topic. And you can input the topic name, MQ to event. Okay, partition is an ordered list of messages. We can leave it as one. Replica is we can just leave it default. And then retention time. Retention time is how long messages are retained before they are deleted. And maybe days is quite a little bit too long. We can do it minutes, maybe 10 minutes based on tutorial. And then you can scroll down, leave it as default. Okay, and create topic. Okay, now we have MQ event here and topic creation requested notification. We can just close the notification, and we need to create another topics, the second topics, event to MQ. Okay, just like before, 10 minutes. Scroll down. Okay, create topics. Okay, we have another topics, event to MQ. Okay, we have already makes the topics, and then the other step, we can see that that's all for the part 3, creating topics. Okay, after we have the two, if MQ to event and event to MQ topics, it's all done. And then we go to the part 4, installing Kafka MQ connector, source and sink to facilitate the data streaming between MQ and event stream. Okay, and now from this page also we can go to toolbox. Yeah, and then scroll down. Okay, in the connectors, scroll down in the connectors, you can choose add connectors. And because we want to connect Kafka event stream with IBM MQ, we can just choose IBM MQ connectors. Okay, here we have MQ source and MQ sink. For MQ source, we download the MQ source jar. We will need later keep. Okay, and then we switch to MQ sink and download this as well. Okay, based on your setup, but for this default, you can see the file in download. Here, downloads. Yeah, you can see here is the Kafka Connect MQ Sync and Kafka Connect MQ Source, both for outbound and inbound data transfer. And then we go back to here. We can see after we download. Okay, and then we need to copy the Kafka Connect to the main directory. So we go. We can use the terminal maybe. Sorry. Okay. You can use terminal. Maybe we create new tab for so that it's clean. Cd. We can go to the downloads. Okay. Yeah, we can see here we got the file, and then okay, we can copy. Sorry. Okay, copy home IBM user downloads, and then you can just choose here. Okay, and we will paste it in home IBM user. Okay, just to make sure. Okay, we may need oops, sorry. Yeah, it's just a simple thing. You can do with your own method actually. Okay, you can, and then we also copy the other one, sync. Okay, and we can go to the home IBM user. Okay, and we already have the Kafka Connect blah 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 in this directory. So we have copied, so we go to the next step. You need to configure sync and source connector. So it's start to be a little complicated, but for a normal use, we have to download the properties from this GitHub. link, but in this case we have already provided with the file in this directory, IBM home IBM user and files. We can copy this file to the home IBM user. So we can back to here, ls, we have folder files here, so we can check. So yeah, here we have MQ source properties and MQ sync properties, just like what's in the tutorial that we need to download from GitHub, and it's already prepared. And we can copy both of the file. Maybe we go with we will follow the steps in the tutorial, so we will go with sync first. Files, MQ, sync, properties. We copy this to home, IBM user. Okay. Okay, we do the same with the source. Okay. Okay. So we can go to the home IBM user and see, check, and it's already here, MQ sync properties and MQ source properties. Okay. Okay, that's all for the part 4. It's simple because actually you need to download it from GitHub, but now we can just continue because we have already the file provided by IBM. And we can continue to the part 5, which is creating API key and event stream certificates. All we need to do is we go to the IBM Cloud Pack for integration in our browser, and we may need to go to the event stream. Okay, go to topics. Yeah, okay, so in this right, you can see connect to this cluster. Just click. In order to connect to MQ, you need the Bootstrap server, certificate, and API key. So we need the Bootstrap server, certificate, and API key. Okay, so the first time we need to do is naming the application. Something like we make a new application. For example, we will have MQ to event app, and we can choose produce and consume. So this application can send and receive data from event stream. Okay, and then we can enter the topic which is correspond to this app, MQ to event. Remember, we have this topic here. You can see also MQ to event, and then next. Okay, and just generate API key. And now you can download the API key file. This is JSON, and this will be downloaded in the downloads. And you can because if this is the MQ to event, and if you do the same with event to MQ, you will have the same exact naming file, so I think it's better for you to rename this file as mq to event, just to make it clear. Okay, we go back to the browser, and then just like what I said before, we also need the bootstrap server and the certificate. So you can just copy here the bootstrap server, copy, okay, or maybe just to make sure, and then you can download. Okay, and then we can close this page. We have got the API key, Java Trust Store, and Bootstrap server. We need the other API key and Bootstrap server for the event to MQ, but for Java Trust Store we only need one. Oh, Bootstrap server, only one, sorry. And then we can, okay, we can repeat the steps. Name the application. Now we want to have the event to MQ app, produce and consume, and there the topic name is event to MQ. Okay, and generate API key. Okay, now we can download the JSON and open here as API key JSON. We should rename this to event to MQ. Okay, then we can go back. Okay, so we can see here, this is the end of this part. We have already downloaded the API key and copy the Bootstrap server and download also the Trustor, Java Trustor. No, part 5 here. So we can continue to the part 6, configuring Kafka connectors properties. So after we download, we can configure this. First, we will configure the connection from MQ to event. So we go here, go to the terminal, and we go to the directory where the files located. Okay. And we can open the file. To copy the API key here. Sorry, we just need the API key. Okay, copy. Okay, sorry, you can close this. And then you can go back to the main directory and go to Kafka config, and here you have the file connect standalone sync properties and connect standalone source properties. First we will do the source, so date connect standalone source properties. Okay, the file will be opened. So the first thing we need to do is we go to the security, and just make sure that everything is in place. The first thing we need to see is that bootstrap servers, ICP proxy. Here we can see the tutorial. Maybe this is a little bit complicated, but actually if you follow the tutorial will have the good result. And then the certificate, the trustor, here it should be matched with the location of the certificate we have already downloaded. And then the API key here. Now this one we need to change here the password with the one that we have copied from the JSON. Okay, the password should be different, yes, because we need to replace this password with the API key in the JSON file, but the other, like token, is just leave it default. And then the second session, we have to configure the producer. You can see the producer here. We check that the trustor location is match. Okay, and then we also need to replace the password here. The password here. Okay, it should be the API key. So this one and this one is the same. And then save. Okay, so we have configured the Kafka source, connector source. And then we need to do the same thing to the sync. The first step is we go to download, and then we open the event to MQ JSON. We do the same, we copy the API key, copy, close, and then we go back to the Kafka config. Kafka config ls. Now we will do the sync. We will configure the sync. Okay, we do exactly the same. We check we check the security and the consumer, not producer but consumer. We check the security here, bootstrap server. Okay, the location of the truster. Okay, and then we need to replace this password with the API key we just copied, paste here, and then the other one, the consumer, is the same. Okay, and then you can save and close. Okay, so we have arrived at the end of the part 6, configuring the location, configuring the connector. And then the next part 7 is configuring MQ connectors. So we have to run the connectors so that the data can be transmitted between MQ to Kafka event stream and Kafka event streams to MQ. So the first thing is that sorry. We will open this file MQ source properties. Okay. Yeah, we have MQ source properties here. Yes, it's opened. And then all we need to check the first thing is the MQ queue manager is equal to MQ. Okay, this is the name of our queue manager. And then the MQ connection name list. MQ connection name list here. You remember that the port for the MQ is 32340. And then the MQ channel name here is to event 2.event, sorry, and then the queue name is to event, and the name of Kafka topic that correspond to this MQ is MQ to event. So it's just straightforward and have already been set by IBM. Save. Okay, close. And then the other one, we want to check the MQ string properties. Okay, here we can see that the topic is event to MQ, and then the queue manager is MQ console name list here 32340, and then the MQ channel name from .event, and the queue name the queue is from event. Okay, it's already, you can see the reference here and here. Okay, so we can just save it and move to the part 8, executing and testing, just to see if everything works well. Save. Okay, we can close this. Okay, and then the last step or last part, we have to start the connector. So we need to go to the terminal again, and maybe we want a new clean tab here. We open the directory Kafka. Okay, we just run the MQ to event.sh. Okay. Okay, now the connector is already up and running, and we can test if everything works well. So, because we want to send file from MQ to event stream, we go to MQ here, and then into event, we can click put message. So, the logic behind this is if we put if the connector connector works well between MQ and event stream if we put message in these two events, which is correspond to the topics that we have already created in event stream, which is MQ to event. So the message will be sent to this topic, MQ to event. Okay, so just we will try. Now the message is transmitted, and yeah, the message is transmitted. We can see the offset becomes 1, and this bump shows the timeline of the message, and we can see the value is message just like what I sent from MQ. Maybe we want to repeat. This is my message from MQ. Good. Yeah, the other message you can see here, and maybe we back to the producer and message. Now you can see the other message, and the value is this is my message from MQ. So here we have already succeeded to send message from MQ to event stream. And the next one, we want to be able to send message in the other direction. So from event stream to MQ. Then what we have to do is we may need another tab because I want to keep this connector running. Okay, now I would like to run the event to mq.sh. So the first thing, we need to go to the home directory IBM user, and then we have producer dot config here, producer.config. So we open this file. Okay, we can check here the bootstrap server. It's the bootstrap server from the event stream, and then we can check the directory of the certificate. Okay, and then the password should be the same with the API key of the event to MQ JSON. After that, we can save this one. Okay, close. Now we will try to send message from event stream to MQ, but I think error stop into the okay. I think something is wrong here because the connector won't run. I don't know.
A few moments later.
Yeah, I think I have a problem because the connector from event stream to MQ is not running. So I just looking for the problem, and I think this is because, yeah, there is typo in the connect standalone sync properties. Nah, in the password there is a typo, and I've okay, save. I've corrected the API key and save it and run in the event to MQ again. Yeah, I think it's running. Okay, now we can start to send file from event stream to MQ. The file is a CSV file. Wait a second. Yeah, this CSV file. It has 50 rows, sorry. This is the content of the file, which is we are going to send it to MQ. You can see the syntax or the command in the tutorial. Here, yeah, and I will just write it. Oh, I think something is wrong. Maybe another typo. Okay, the dot, I think. Oh, and now the file. Yeah, okay. It looks good. It looks good. Fifty records sent, yeah. And to check, we should go to IBM MQ. Maybe we need to refresh. Yeah, And you can see in from event you get 50 queue depth. That's because we send 50 rows from event stream to MQ. You can browse message, and this is the message. The same with the uh, the content of the CSV file. Yeah. You can also check the message through MQ Explorer, but yeah, I think it's similar. Just browse message and you can see the message. Close. And to summarize, we are already configure the queues and then create event stream topics, configure message queue connector between if MQ and event stream, and then execute a test by sending message and file from MQ to event stream and event stream to MQ.